Hey guys, I'm here today with a special guest. Special because he's from Nama Bengaluru, Kannada, who has done his BE in computer science in Poland and has secured a job in one of the most reputed software company. He is here with us today to guide us and share his experience on traveling from Bangalore to Poland at the age of 17. 17? I was not even going for shopping alone when I was 17. Well, I'm not proud about it. So he is here with us to share, guide. So keep watching. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kavya Mohan. I am here with a special guest, Pratik, today. Hi Pratik, welcome to my channel.
Thank you so much, Kavya. Hey everyone, I'm Pratik Gurudat again. I was here to study my bachelor's in computer science, and currently I'm done with my graduation and I work here at an investment bank as a software engineer.
Yeah, thank you Pratik. So guys, let's start with the video. Let's start asking him all the questions that you've sent me. Before that, if you like my video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. The main question I wanted to ask is, at the age of 17, how did you decide to come to Poland? Like, what made you think that you want to do your engineering in Poland?
Right. That is a valid question, I guess. So I was very interested in robotics and computer science and artificial intelligence. What was there back then in India for 5 years ago for robotics wasn't there wasn't a lot that some universities could offer apart from fests and regular research clubs. I wanted to study that at an undergraduate level itself. And as a result, I began searching for universities outside of India, like in the US and the UK and so on. And I found out that it's very expensive and unaffordable. So one very nice thing happened was that I met a professor from an engineering college in India, and I did a small internship with him after my 12th. And with him, I did figure out some of my interests that I had, and I felt that this is what I actually wanted to do. And he told me that he was doing his PhD in Netherlands, and through an exchange program, it's called Erasmus, he came to Poland. And he suggested why I don't check out this university called Warsaw University of Technology. It's a public university. It's extremely affordable and it has good, and back then, it had good quality education. So he said, why don't you check it out? It had courses in robotics, mechatronics, and computer science with artificial intelligence and so on in its bachelor level. So I think that's why I decided that maybe it's a good option. I choose to come here.
What is the entrance exam you wrote
Right.
to secure into the college?
From what I remember, there was 2 exams. So the entrance, the university had its own exam. It's something similar to SAT. So it was based on math as well as English. And the English is just your high school English that you have. I think B1 and B2 level English. And for maths, it's just the basic high school maths such as linear algebra and a little bit of trigonometry and matrices and so on. So if you're well versed in your high school mathematics, maybe until your 11th and 12th, maybe not calculus and so on, but the basics of trigonometry was the most involved.
Okay. So, like, did you prepare? Did you go to any coaching classes, or did you prepare on your own?
Not really. Actually, no, I had not. I just finished my exams in 12th, right? And they have a mock exam. So once you pay your application fee, or I don't remember if you had to pay your fee but to take the test, but before the test there was a mock test that you could take.
Okay.
And the mock test kind of showed what the actual questions were, and thank God the questions were very similar with maybe a few changes here and there. So the mock test, when I took it, I figured out, okay, this is what it might be like, and I felt that at that point I didn't need any additional.
How much does it cost to study engineering here?
Okay, in terms of the cost, I think it is quite affordable. It's almost the same as how much it would cost in India, let's say. So it costed me around 3 lakh rupees INR per year to pay my fees.
So the 3 lakhs was for your studies alone. Like, how much did you spend to stay here?
Stay here, yeah. It's a valid question. So what happens is, at least for me back then, for the first year students, you get to stay. So students get to stay in student dorms here, right? There are 7 student dorms. and you get to stay in any one of them. The costliest, or let's say one of the best dorms, would cost you around 8,000 rupees a month.
Okay.
Right, and you would share it with another 3 people of the same gender, which has a shared kitchen and a toilet for you to cook food and everything. So apart from 8,000 a month, you could have, let's say, an additional 10, 15,000 or 20,000 for your groceries and for your general expenses. And also, if you're a student, there's a lot of discounts everywhere, just like most European cities. So they have travel cards for you to travel around the city, and so the travel card would cost you, for 3 months it would cost you, let's say, 2,000 rupees, and you can use the metro, the train, the tram, the buses, and you can go to any end of the city. And I think it's a very affordable option for students for 3 months, and that gives you access to travel around the city and see places.
Yeah, I always see whenever I'm buying the tickets, there will be always 50% off for students.
Yeah.
Choose your subject, and then you've come here. At that time, like, did you have anyone here to help you out initially? Because here people talk Polish, they don't talk English. For you to communicate with them, you should know at least minimum of Polish. If you don't know, it's kind of difficult. Like for us, we manage with Google Translator. But yeah, when you were there at that age, like, how did you manage all those things?
Right. Yeah, I think just like you said, Google Translate has been like my best friend for a long time. So when I came here, I had a couple of seniors as well who had come for their masters, and they were from Bangalore as well. So I did stay with them for a very long time. So it kind of helped me out. And for anything, initially to begin with, you get somebody like a buddy. So a local here who's like a buddy is assigned to you just to help you get settled, who will pick you up from the airport, let's say, and put you in the right dormitory, or help you buy a SIM card or anything. So yeah, language is a constraint, but yeah, I think Google Translate is there for your help.
Was there any compulsion that you should learn Polish to study here? Was there anything as such? Because in Germany, it's usually to learn German. But here in Polish, was there anything language?
No. So there's no legal requirement to learn Polish, right? Even for your visa as such. But it is a benefit if you do. It'll help you socially as well.
One student is trying to choose a subject here. Like, do they want to go into mechanical or IT, which is a booming technology which is happening here in Poland?
Yeah, I think right now, from my perspective and opinion, I think IT is one of the best performing fields that's happening right now, both in terms of salary as well as opportunities. There's a lot of startups that hire international students as well as international crowd, and also sponsor visas. And there are a lot of big size companies and corporates, Fortune 500 companies. So there's Google, there's Amazon, there's Facebook, as far as I know, there's Oracle. There's a lot of Indian IT companies as well, service-based companies. There's Microsoft. These investment banking companies like Goldman Sachs, UBS, Credit Suisse, HSBC, and so on. So there's different fields in which you can work.
These are some of the questions which I had. There are some of the questions which I asked the followers to ask me. So I'll start with those questions and then you can answer.
Sure.
The first question is, do Polish universities match the same standard as UK, German and others in Europe?
Okay, well, it's hard to say because I haven't been there to actually compare the differences. But I think for the price that you're paying, the quality is pretty good and the opportunities are great. Yeah, I mean, it's just a hard question to answer. But what I can say is, for the price that you pay, I think the quality is pretty good.
So how welcoming are Polish people? Like, I mean, how safe is Poland for Indians?
Okay, well, from my experience being here for so long, I think it's a very safe country. There's been times that we walked streets at 3-4 a.m. and it's been completely safe. Nobody's ever bothered us except a few drunk people, let's say, on the streets. But I don't think they'd be doing any physical harm apart from just verbally shouting or anything like that. Especially for Indians, I think there could be a little bit of cold shouldering, in pubs or clubs or anything. But I think this is something that happens in every part of the world. But let's say comparatively, it is a lot safer. You wouldn't be bothered by the police.
I also see police going around every time, so that.
Right. So there's always patrolling of the police cars, even in parks.
And any study gap or age limit restrictions when you're studying here?
Not really. I think there are a lot of benefits you get as a student until the age of 26, and beyond that, student discounts or anything wouldn't be entitled to you. In terms of age gap, while you're studying here, you can take a gap from your studies for a maximum of 4 years.
Okay.
So let's say you're in the second year, and for some reason you have to take a gap. You can quit your studies for 4 years and come back maximum, but if it's beyond that, it would require you to retake all your courses, because sometimes a lot of the contents are shuffled. So I think those sort of gaps is considered normal, and it is very common to take gaps between your studies and to do it longer than the stipulated duration of the course. It's very common. When you're shifting courses as well, it's not a legal problem to do that. What I've heard from other countries is if you take a visa and come here for a certain university and for a certain course, you are compelled to study at the same university and the same course. But here, if you come on a student visa, I think you can shift between universities and courses, whatever suits you. It's not restricted to any field or college for that matter.
Once you don't like the course you're studying, you can.
Let's say after a year you figured out that you don't like it, or if it's not what you wanted to do, I think you can change. Yeah.
That's an advantage. Actually.
That's another advantage.
So and then if they want to do MS or masters, like what is the entrance exam they'll have to write?
You would have to take standard exams such as TOEFL or IELTS to qualify for the English proficiency. But as such, there's no courses like GRE or GMAT that you have to take to start. I think the maximum is IELTS or a TOEFL exam.
What are the next steps after entrance exam? In case if they're coming for masters and then they've written their entrance exam. So once they have this course, what are the next steps they have?
Right. So when you're applying for universities, they usually have their own online portals to do your process. So once you've finished your exams, you'd have to upload your documents, such as educational documents, such as your pre-university scores, your high school scores, scores from your engineering exams, and they have to be validated and attested by the Ministry of External Affairs. It's called as attestation. I believe there's another word for it, I don't remember. But what they do is they stamp at the back of these documents with a seal that shows that they're actually valid and they're original. So you can even do it after coming here at the embassy, or you can even do it in India, which is just expedite the process of admissions. And once all of this is done, I think they would just go through these documents again and just see if you qualify. So the acceptance rate, at least here for most universities, is around 60 to 70%. Pointing to your question, I just remembered another point from earlier when you asked about the quality of education, right? So I studied at the Warsaw University of Technology. So in terms of IT, the college stands somewhere between 101 to 150 in terms of world rankings. So it is pretty high compared to the cost you pay for it and the opportunities that are available in India for you. So of course I think there are better universities like the IITs or the NITs or some private universities as well, but what it would take to get you in those universities is a lot with all your entrance exams and so even if you're deprived of some of those opportunities in India for whatever reason, I think it's giving you another chance to get something equivalent here. That's it. Right.
What are the universities available in Poland? Which is the best one?
I think most of the public universities are very good. So there's I think 9 technical universities, or 10 I guess, which are pretty standard and recognized all over the world. I don't remember all of the 10, but I can name a few. So there's Warsaw University of Technology. There's University of Warsaw. There is Krakow University of Technology, Jagiellonian University of Technology, Gdansk University of Technology, Poznan University of Technology, Łódź University of Technology, Silesia University of Technology. I think these is the famous set of universities.
So the next question which I have is about the scholarships. Are there any scholarships here?
So there are a couple of scholarships that the government provides as well as the embassies. I'm not particularly aware of the government scholarships, but there's definitely for international students. What our universities offers is based on academic performance. So if you have excellent academic performance, so let's say GPA, right? So it ranges from 0 to 5, and 3 is the minimum required to pass, and let's say you're getting 4 and 4.5 consistently throughout, and if you maintain the same average in the first year, from the second year onwards, they give you a scholarship of 400 zlotys per month. So it's kind of like a stipend that you get per month to take care of your expenses and whatnot, but it can be retracted if you don't maintain the academic performance as well. So there is another, so for the robotics, for people who are interested in robotics, there is a particular program called as IMARO or IMARO Plus. So this is the European Masters of Advanced Robotics. So this is another scholarship program where you don't pay for your masters at all. Now what happens in IMARO is that it's a 2-year course, and the first year you study in one university, and in the second year you study in another university. Right? So
and in Poland?
No, in Europe, right? And it also includes Poland. So you get to choose based on the specializations and the subjects that you want between the 3 universities of how you're going to do it for 2 years. So it's based on how you split it. And over here what happens is you also get some sort of benefit and a stipend per month to study that ranges between 400 to 1,000 zlotys a month. So that is, so you don't pay for your masters, plus you get this sort of stipend as well. And you could even choose to work outside during this time to get additional money, but it's up to you. So that's another opportunity for students who are interested in robotics.
That I was talking to you about student exchange program previously. How does that work? Like in case if I'm going to France to study my once a year, how will I manage my funds? Is there anything else?
So they have this program called as Erasmus and Erasmus Mundus. So what happens here is a lot of European universities, excluding the UK right now, have a sort of partnership and they have tie-ups. So you could study for 1 year in another European university and then come back to your home university and finish your courses. So in the partner university, you have to take the same number of credits that you would take here. So let's say from Poland you're going into Netherlands to do your Erasmus. So they have universities like Delft or Twente. There is a huge difference between the cost of living between Poland and Netherlands. So they pay you an additional 400 to 500 euros a month to compensate for the cost of living difference, and it would help students as well in terms of financing their own studies. What happens here is for that particular year, you don't pay your tuition for your home university or for the partner university. So the tuition fee is waived off. But you'll also get an additional stipend per month of roughly between 300 to 500 euros. That can also help cover up your rent or any other expense for that matter. But you would have to maintain consistent grades, and you would have to pass all of your subjects. And if you don't, for that matter, there are some consequences. You might end up having to pay all that money back as well.
So you don't have to pay a fees for that semester or for that year, and then the university is paying you some extra amount.
Yes.
Okay, that's really nice.
So there is that option.
Okay.